with Mr. Sabrisan Sankaran, CEO and Director of Technicious Technology Services. Mr. Ganesh Chaudhary, please be seated, sir. Mr. Ganesh Chaudhary, founder and promoter of VQBITS. Also, one more panelist is Mr. Yogesh Wagh, CEO, founder, One Green Diary, and Mr. Milind Bakshi, Associate Vice President, Trust FinTech Limited. And our moderator is Mr. Pavan More. Please welcome. Give a big hand to all the panelists and our moderator. Thank you. And the subject of this panel discussion is building future, which is most important because this is the last panel discussion of this exhibition. So building future, ready enterprises with ERP and AI. And fortunately, Gen Z is in front of you. So future is in front of you. Now you have to discuss about the future related to AI, ERP, cloud also. Thank you, and you may proceed, Mr. Pavan More. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So interesting, and this is being the last. So I would like to take this panel because we had multiple sessions in the previous, in last 2 days basically, where we discussed ERPs, basic ERPs, foundations, methodology of implementation, how do we cost it, how do we sell it, all those things happen. Then we also try to understand how the newest technologies can be inculcated and stuff like that. The previous session was for manufacturing, going some thematics because manufacturing is a larger pie. Now, raising from that bar to now, how to go for future-ready solutions. See, we were just having heartful conversations about the newest technologies, talking about electronics, IoTs, AIs. So everybody's here. So my questions will be somewhere on that. We'll try to move the thematics like that. Okay? So the first question, sir, please, I would request you to take the mic. The first question would be ERP plus AI transformation. And very luckily, you are the best person to answer this. So I will elaborate on this particular segment. How is the combination of ERP and AI reshaping modern enterprises from the operational systems into intelligent, data-driven organizations?
Cool, great. Thank you for this question. Yes. So basically, now what we are doing with the ERP is a typical digital bookkeeping. From register or manual bookkeeping, we are moving to the digital bookkeeping. Now, what we are doing with the ERP is like just to maintain the records, okay? Not necessary it is with the rule base or not necessary it is with aligned with the business. We are just trying to push the data into the system. Again, we are not bother about if the data is eligible for the AI or not, okay? So for first thing, to get into AI, we need to get our data ready, we need to get our business ready with this, and then only we can go for the AI. Okay, so I would suggest like first we need to correct our data, we need to correct our strategies, and based on that we can implement the AI. And again with AI, we need to check if the AI is applicable for my business, for my ERP or not. And then only we can go with the AI, and that particular thing is, I can suggest with the customized AI solutions. We don't have to follow whatever in the market is available like Cloud or any other agentic AI. Okay, so if it is applicable to your ERP or business, then only you can go with that AI models. Thank you.
Interesting. So I'll ask the question to you. So how do we go from automation, which is basically automating the basic smaller decisions or some data transfers, to intelligence, which does the decision making for you, right? So from just pointing something referencing to intelligence. I'll just elaborate on the 2 lines. So traditional ERP focused on process automation, right? We automated a lot of things. With AI entering the picture, how are businesses moving from automation towards predictive and intelligent operations?
Yeah, perfect. So traditionally, the automation was focused on what happened actually, rather than why it happened. So once the incident happened, then the financial operators, directors were taking the decision on their own. Now it comes the AI part where the actual data will be analyzed on basis of the available data, and then it will answer why it happened and what to do to avoid those in future. So the intelligence part will come with the AI feature along with ERP. The difficulty is, as he has pointed out, the data and availability as well as quality. So the enterprises with the who are more prone to having the steady making of Excel, data exchange, etc., they can focus on having the ERP based data availability, so that it will be centralized data which is available for AI to predict best way, because it is not going to catch up your Excel somewhere lying. That is the thing.
So we move with the next question. So I think I will bring it in a different perspective. So how does data readiness and digital foundations work in the future, right? So just to elaborate on that, see, AI is only as effective as the quality of enterprise data that it has. What should organizations prioritize to build clean, connected, and future-ready ERP ecosystems specific to the domains of data readiness and digital foundations?
Yeah, so I think first thing first, we don't jump to AI directly. We start with, why we are doing this. So the first question would be how we gather our data. Do we have the true source of the data? That's where we should be starting. Most of the SMEs that we are seeing right now, these SMEs primarily focus on using tools in silos. They probably are using only accounting tool, or they are using Excel tools. Now, when we want to build an intelligence and data that would, eventually connect to AI, we must have a connected system. So this connected system should have a data lineage. So for data lineage, you need to have a connected data points. So connected data points would be, the first thing would be your ERP, which is a very rule-based and discipline system. That system should connect to your supply chain. That system should connect to your CRM. That system should connect it to the outside ecosystem. So the moment you start doing that, that's when your data cleaning would happen. And that data should be as clean as you have a clean item master, you have a clean supplier master. It should be as basic as that. If you have that, then probably you would talk about orchestration of having an ML engine and then maybe connecting agents to that. That's where we would go. So basic, data cleaning should be there, or data maintenance should be there. That's where we should focus on.
Interesting. So this question to point it to you, and I think you would love this. Cloud integration and scalability, right, for the future-ready solutions. I'll just elaborate on that. So future-ready enterprise depends on connected platforms and scalable infrastructures. Right. How important are cloud ERP, interoperability, and ecosystem integrated in long-term digital transformations?
Right. As you can see, there's a transformation that has happened over the years, like people shifting from on-prem based solutions to a cloud-based solution. And the basic necessity to do that was availability of the data across geography is not a limitation anymore. So you can visualize your data, your charts, your business intelligence, all those fancy pie charts and everything across everywhere. So it's very important that your business processes are tied up to a system which can provide this data readily available anywhere across the globe, and for you to readily access and take reports and etc. And at the same time, considering the scalability, it becomes much easier for enterprises to offload their daily maintenance of the servers and everything to a reputed cloud-based infrastructure like AWS, Azure, or any other cloud infra out there. So things are being made very simpler as we go along. So it becomes more and more common sense to build systems on cloud, and rather than just having it on prem, because then unless you have a very specific need which restricts you to with regards to data security or certain compliances, where you definitely have to stick to your on-prem. But there also you can explore opportunities to have an hybrid structure to expose certain data to the cloud, which doesn't fall under that specific safety net and possibly can be accessed across the multiple locations.
So if I ask you in a very straighting,
Yeah.
words, so either cloud or on-prem?
Well, I love cloud, but that's my personal preference. But yeah, it's like a
No,
question.
choose one.
Yeah, but of course cloud.
Cloud?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ganesh sir, I would want you to counter on this particular part because I know this is going to be a fun conversation. On-prem or cloud?
I would say hybrid.
Acha, chalo, theek hai. You took the easy way out. No, because we discussed something. Chalo, theek hai. Tell me how do hybrid works for that?
Yeah, so basically, referring to sir's point, so whenever we need compliance or security thing, you can go with the on-prem, obviously, and cloud gives you the mobility. Okay, so wherever I want data, I can access that thing. Hybrid is like if I'm a restricted environment, so I can have my few data points or maybe few modules for ERPs per se on-prem, which should be secure compliance thing. And wherever I want to share the data with my marketing, sales CRM, or my customer, distributor, I can go with the cloud thing. So in a way, hybrid, I can say.
So would you like to? Yes, please.
Yeah. Very interesting actually, because we had been working as a compliance for only in premise for some industries, which is regulatory norm. Now in regulations as far as manufacturing or the other industries are not actually in place. I had that query with the regulators, but it is yet to come. So actually the API first strategy should be there. Now everything is available in API. So cloud is the first priority for SMEs or industries to go for. And then using cloud technology, the AI part will be much more economical, as well as the, for example, I will tell you, the models which works on cloud, they are pay per use, etc. So they don't have upfront investment. And example is the compliance issue. Now ERPs, if they are in-prem, and then they want to connect to GS10 system, for example, then actually GS10 is API driven system, which is government system, and it is much easier to connect over the cloud, and that is going to drive the regulation as well as this thing, using even the AI based features like OCR plus the AI, and on cloud it is much easier.
Yogesh sir, you have your inputs on this?
So we are getting into a bit technical here.
So we all are technical. Anybody? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All technical people. You can
Okay.
talk technology, sir.
So
I'll just say, best part of having an ERP Expo is I don't have to explain. ERP is enterprise, resource, planning software. People know what ERP means. So feel technical around this.
Yeah. So if the context is ERP and AI, then we are already talking about moving from monolithic architecture to microservices kind of an architecture, and that kind of answers it that you need to be on cloud. But there are some data which some of you guys are already doing IoT, and you already are managing data on edge. So there you are already doing some calculations. It's kind of an hybrid mode itself. So you are only sending the data that you really need, and not the whole bunch of data. So that you are already managing. But from a context of ERP and AI, I believe there is no alternative. You need to be on cloud, because you are talking to multiple systems, and the moment you talk about involving AI agents, you would end up having a cloud system there, because that's the role of AI agents. You would talk to different agents from different industry functions, so you would obviously get into cloud.
It's an open question for all for this. So for a manufacturing person, right, who excel in mechanical works, production works, they don't understand technology. They have heard the jargons, the lingos that we are using, like agentic and all. They know something automates. So prior to this, there was BPMs, we used to say, business process management. Then workflows came into place. Now agentics, although everything is correlating, right? But the things have improved significantly. clients might actually get confused sometimes. They already rely on us for this. So for a people who are non-technical or who are non-IT, how will you help them accept this? Like, you'll have to go for cloud or on-prem, because on-prem, yes, data means they are like, this is my baby, I don't want to share.
Okay. So if I can answer this way, so for a layman, let's say for a manufacturing person, and again, I mean, as we discussed earlier, we are not discussing why AI should be there. We are discussing why you want AI. What problem do you have? So if you answer that this is the problem I have. So I want a solution wherein my system should tell me, this is where my cash flow is going to have a problem next month. If this is what you need, or if you need something that, for next season, I want my supplier to be ready with this raw material. If you need answer to this question, that means you are talking to multiple people, right? You are getting data from multiple sources. And that's when you need an access to the data which is in cloud.
Exactly. I'll just add up the question for this, because this I was keeping on hold. So AI use cases in ERP. Elaborating on the same is, what are the most impactful real world AI use cases currently being adopted within ERP environments across finance, HR, supply chain, manufacturing, customer operations, quality management, all the models that we can identify in ERP. Real world examples, and then which is immediately, we can start using something like that. Open to all questions. Yes.
So one of the real world examples that I can cite, because that's something which we have been working on, is basically we have certain manufacturing clients whose requirement is to ensure that their components that are manufactured are meeting to certain quality standards, especially on the surface finish, like no dents, no cracks, etc. So this is one of the use cases where I take a contrarian belief that solution has to be on-prem.
You mentioned, so vision inspection we were talking about, so automobile components being manufactured, yeah.
Right. So, so that's one critical use cases where edge-based AI works well, because the inference happens locally rather than on the cloud. So that's one use cases where you do the vision inspection and integrate that with the ERP for all your non-conformance tickets, and making sure all your quality data is being analyzed. So one typical, I think, very common use case in many of the auto component manufacturing industry. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I think my favorite one would be demand forecasting. So if you have to do that, that is something which would be very obvious. So someone who's using ERP for years, they would already have some time series data, right? So they would already have a sales data. They would already have a inventory data. So based on that, you are doing some time series forecasting right now. Add ML on top of that, and then maybe add some agentic AI, which would simply ask a question. Okay, tell me how my next season is going to be. So this is something, I think many industries would like to know. This would be a real use case.
Actually, what happened very recently, I was demonstrating our feature of AI, and the layman will know that, okay, whatever AI is going to give me output, it should be treated with confidence or not. So actually, we demonstrate only OCR feature first. Then comes the, let us say there is an invoice which needs to be, uploaded for avoiding data entry. So the part 8 will be treated as B, but we using AI, that is the OCR feature ends. Now the starts the comparing with the QR code along with the invoice. Now it has compared that, and third stage for reconciliation, it will flag that auto reconciliation feature along with comparing the IMS part. So it is going to download from GSTN, and then it is going to give the exact ITC which is available, and the audits will be simpler for him, because GSTN audit they come after 2 years and 3 years. If they are centrally located, not with this chartered accountant, etc., then they will be able to handle audits very properly with correct data, and penalties will be avoided. So this is the perfect use case of using ERP plus AI with very, very less efforts for the operator to operate and comply also. That is the thing.
So would you like to add some?
Yes, sure. Thank you. So basically, I would say for any business, so ecosystem is like employees, your clients, and your vendors. So if you know, if you have some heads up, like how your employee is going to perform, how your vendor is going to perform, and what your customer is going to need. So where you can actually club all these three things, including AI, you can predict everything.
Sentiment analysis,
Sentiment
profiling something.
plus we have a rating engine, okay. So where you can rate your employee, your vendor, your customer, and even your vendor system as well, okay. So you can actually connect with your ERP. It will flow with your actual data, and it will go through different AI models. So whichever model is performing better for your data, it will select that model. It will give you the most accurate results.
I would like you to elaborate a use case for that. So take an example, because what could be the rating points for that? As
Yes.
in good paymasters, early payers.
Yeah, sure. So basically,
something.
I'll start with the vendor. Okay. So for example, I have a vendor and who is providing me some material. Okay. And if he is actually giving me a good quality for the particular product, he's actually delivering me in a very in time whenever I need this. He's actually with the market. He's using the latest technology or the latest material, and he's giving me the good service. Okay, I might have different parameters. I can weight that particular vendor on these parameters. Based on the history data, I can actually rate that vendor. And for my upcoming project, if I need a good service, a good vendor, AI should give me answer that you should go with this vendor instead of the low cost or the cheap vendors. So in a way, I can predict my employee iteration as well. So how the employee is performing, how his psychological state, is he performing well, is he skilling well? On that basis, I can actually get my employees on a particular project, on a critical project, or a delivery project. So in a way, I can actually have all these ratings for everyone, and I can actually club these data, and I can go with this data for my business planning.
So for a project-based kind of an implementation, team building could be decided via your tool. A nicer team or efficient team, basically.
Yes, efficient team, a nicer team, and you can actually get their psychological levels as well, how they are going with. Okay,
That's a very
because-
interesting approach. See, we have been talking about data points in just terms of books, invoice, accounts, everything. Nobody actually, this is one of the first ones to ideate that people sentiments, people ideations, their skilling. So this is a good innovations that I would like to see. Interesting. Same on the topic on the same. I will elaborate on that. See, balancing innovation with practical ROI. See, you might have a cost for this because you are doing it, and you might charge good cost for that. Just elaborating on that, see, many businesses are excited about AI. See, I was talking about ERP and we are talking about AI. You know, it always boils down to one. But then many businesses are excited about AI, but struggle to justify the investments. The number of tokens that you are spending, आई थिंक सब ने यहाँ पे चैट जीपीटी की लिमिट्स हिट की है, क्लाउड की लिमिट्स हिट की है, राइट. एवरीबडी, डेवलपर्स हो या यूजर्स हो, सबको आता है 3 घंटे रुको, उसके बाद में विल यूज़. सो प्रैक्टिकल ROI हैज़ टू बी लुक्ड इनटू, एंड $20 के ऊपर अगर पे करना पड़ गया तो 2 बार सोचना पड़ता है, राइट. सो हाउ कैन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बैलेंस इनोवेशन विथ मेजरेबल बिजनेस आउटकम्स एंड ROI?
Yeah, sure.
Open to all. Yes.
So basically, it should start with why you need AI. So based on that answer, you'll come to know what exactly.
So just putting that, I would want AI in the ERP. So if I say ki I am buying an ERP product that has AI capabilities, obviously I'm going to charge premium for that.
Yes.
I'm already paying $200 or $2,000 for that enablement, right? So I will transfer that cost to my customer. So if asking your customer that you need to have an AI enabled ERP, so how will that work like?
So I would suggest basically you don't have to go, you don't have to enable all the modules with AI. Okay, start with something small. which is actually going to impact your business, which is actually giving you some ROI or some service improvement or customer success improvement. And then you can slowly increase your AI part so that it won't actually burden your customer, your business. Because if you burden your customer, it might impact your business as well, right? So just go slowly with module wise wherever it is actually needed, and then only you can implement. You can just cut down all these AI cost as well. Okay, so based on that, you can just optimize these things. You can optimize your cloud billing or maybe your infrastructure billing. So in a way, you can go with the ROI. Okay, and obviously there is a book like Mandate Innovation. Okay, you can't innovate lifetime. So there should be some timeline, some cost involved for that particular innovation.
Yes. Yeah. Sir, you have an input. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, to justify the cost, what we provide, we have AI accelerators which are provided free of cost for use by the customers. So those accelerators first will be demonstrated to them so that then they can integrate with the ERP. So if they feel that, okay, this works like this and it is having the value to me in terms of ROI, then they will go for it. So this model works best with the SMEs, that if they feel use and then they can invest. That is.
Yeah, so I agree to the point that you don't do any innovation because everybody is doing it. You do it for a reason. So that's how you would start. So you would basically, that's what I would do. If I have to have a AI in my ERP, I would run a pilot. Okay, and typically any POC, and we have all seen that, any POC that you want to do in 3 to 6 months times, it is highly successful. But when you actually want to scale it up, it fails miserably. So the question that we need to ask is, what are the things that we really want to automate? We really want to prioritize. And if we can identify that, that's where the innovation should apply. We need not do an innovation wherever, where we just do it for the sake of doing it. It's no more fashionable. It has to be a realistic innovation.
But what about the fear of missing out that, mine is a traditional ERPs and not AI enabled?
Yeah, see so in future, people are no more going to ask you, is your ERP AI enabled? People would ask you a question, is your data AI enabled? That's what the question would be. So we need to more worry about the data that we have. Once we have a data, we can always have an AI on top of that.
Okay, sir, you.
Yeah, just wanted to add on that. Of course, the use cases are very important where you want to introduce AI into the ERP. Now, of late, there have been innovations in this field where you can build up localized models for specific purposes, and that can be used in devices like a Jetson Nano or Orin, etc., which runs on-prem, can connect with your ERP, and does solve a whole lot of AI-related automation that can be done. At the same time, with a caution over there, to me, marrying a ERP with AI is like a guy and a girl getting married, and after 3 months discovering, why did we do that? Yeah. So in order to avoid reaching to that point, it's very pertinent that we identify the use cases and build those specific local models and use them integrated. Yeah.
Perfect. I actually want to add up the questions towards this that, see, AI governance and security comes to the picture when such a situation happens. So adding to that level, as enterprise adopt AI-powered ERP systems, what new risk emerge around cyber security, governance, compliance, and ethical AI usage?
So absolutely correct. And what happens is, and many of these, even in manufacturing, if you're into aerospace industry, the security is so tightened that essentially usage of any AI or sending, forget tokens. You can't even send the data to cloud in some instances, right?
So I would like to say it's not only manufacturing. See, we do ERPs for everybody. We have done it for governments, manufacturings, traders, individual users. So many use cases are there. So feel free, because the context is cybersecurity, governance, compliance, and ethical, right? we want to highlight on the full. So feel free about other business owners who could be part of it. Yeah.
So I'll take the cybersecurity and the ethical usage part of it. So essentially, when we are talking about cybersecurity, it does translate to how this data is eventually, whether it's hack-proof or whether it's like the security is tightened, etc. And that's where the awareness of what's the security level of each data parameters that is used in your business case, it's very important. It starts from there. So whether certain piece of data, are you okay to push it to cloud or not? It starts from that awareness and then building solutions to tackle that problem. And there are many solutions which can be used to make sure that this data, when it goes to cloud, ensure that it's encrypted and all those industry-wide best practices available. And from an ethical usage point of view, I would say if you send a data, a manufacturing, I can take, because I relate to manufacturing, that's why I'm using that every now and then. If I send a drawing and I say, okay, this is my engineering drawing of this component, and I feed it to a LLM or let's say ChatGPT, and I say, give me all the parameters, right? And ChatGPT does give me all those parameters, and it does add its own biases, and it does add its own intelligence, which probably is useless for me, or I don't need that. So in order to avoid that, I think it's very important that the businesses look at the use case and build. According to me, I'm a big advocate of building custom models to suit your needs, and use LLMs for very generic aspect of converting your, take a business context out of some text or documents, etc. But essentially for your business processes, make sure you build models which are very tightly coupled with your process and solves that specific need. And with which, when you run it on edge-based systems, essentially you avoid a lot of these headaches as well. From a
Saving some data, yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Yogesh sir, adding to that, so in the previous sessions we also learned about your AI can learn, it cannot unlearn. So see, when we say compliance, securities and this, unknowingly you put a data which can be very sensitive in nature. We have had some incidents like that, where a very sensitive data was uploaded online on one of the tools, and it could be in a very secure nature of designs, defense, innovations, and similar like that. And it was very unknowingly, amateurish way it was done, that okay, I want to enhance the design. So I have had some incidents like that. What would you suggest in such a way? Like, security is very critical there.
It's a very serious concern that all of us are facing, and since we have also mentioned about the ethical way of handling this data, in 2024, EU has said that candidate hiring and recruitment, if you are doing it with AI, we need a transparency there. You cannot hire people like that, right? I mean,
would you like to elaborate on that? Like what?
So, for an example, there is a screening pattern that you use with AI, and you do not have a human intervention there. Okay, so maybe a data related to psychology, you cannot do that data, access that data directly. You must have a human intervention. That's a policy that EU has. You cannot hire people like that. The other example that I can very well give you is, especially with the software development that we do in and out, and we have seen, n number of times the hallucination AI does, right? So you must have a very guided and controlled environment when you are using an AI, and that's a very dangerous area to be in. How you play around with that. So that is why it is more important that, and I see this as a future. When we would have an ERP, we would have a vertical specific, AI vertical specific ERPs. Okay. We may not have a generalized ERP in future. And because that would create a better context, and that would also, maintain the privacy part of it.
Okay. Sir, I would say, because you mentioned you are a GSP provider and you have heavily worked with taxations, compliances, and similar. What would you say about AI being in ERP and now the compliance and the sensitive data being uploaded there?
The thing is, as far as regulations are there, First point was whether the ERP will be implemented in DC plus DR. So compliance way, the regulations are there for the BFSI industry, but not for this. Now there are around 60 to 70% cases whenever any incident happens, any fraud happens, then only the decision is being taken for investment into secured systems. That is the first thing. And second thing is, especially the part of auto reconciliation, etc. Whenever there is a compliance to do along with the GST and etc. So earlier it was given to chartered accountants, and then it was dependent upon that. Now there are penalties to avoid, so it can be taken into the AI way, that how much reconciliation, auto reconciliation can we do, and the final outcome is to avoid, to have the better profitability using 100% ITC, etc. So these parts gives the, there should be direct integration with GST and etc. For that purpose, we should take the advantage of new systems like IMS, etc., where API first is available and compliance will be very smooth. That is all.
So would you like to add on that?
Yes,
And see, no hybrid wala part. No. I'm being serious about this. See, we know the data goes online. So data
Right.
ownership is also of a concern, right?
Yes.
Because any of the tools that you're going, mostly DeepSeek, Anthropics, ChatGPT. So, whenever we're putting the data, you don't own it. However you say, we know it's learning it.
Yes.
Okay. You might strike off the specific contents of it, but I have learned how your business runs.
Yes.
I know how your business runs. Not necessarily I need to know from where you buy, whom do you buy, and whom to sell.
Right.
So how do you talk about this? And like I will say about the LLM part of it now.
Yeah, so you can use the cloud-rail like technologies. Okay, so that will actually hold your sensitive data. Okay, first thing. Second thing, there are verticals in AI like explainable AI. So why your model is working like that? So what is the reason for that? And how you can actually avoid all the biases or the hallucination. Okay, so you can implement that kind of thing. So again, I'll go to the customized LLMs. So as you mentioned, like the generic or Gen AI LLMs, all they are learning from the users or the end users, right? So in any way they are using your data because that is their business. Okay, so if you have any sensitive thing, you should have some on-prem LLM with some customizations. So your domain, your company, your LLM. So that would, I would say. No, this is
It's a very tricky place to be. It's a very
discipline
tricky
and compliance, right? So
Yeah.
you must have your data. So a few data must have your local system. That is where you can actually strictly avoid your data. You can say theft. Okay, so you can't go full on cloud unless it is your own cloud or it is controlled by you. Or at least you have that kind of tech which is controlling all these things. You should not do any single mistake to get your data published on cloud.
Okay. I know this topic goes, like once we start talking, we'll have so many elements to it. But since the Gen Z is here, I would like to give you opportunities for 2 questions, very specific 2 questions. And first come, first basis. Whoever would like to ask a question, raise up, take the stage. Aju baju mein nahi, you can ask here, no problem. You have a question in mind? Anybody would like to? I'll sum up this, okay.
Maybe you can chat GPT.
You can, no ChatGPT timelines right now, we can't afford that. Okay, so just summing up with, say, how do we see the next 5 to 10 years in ERPs, okay. I would have loved some questions also going around that. So, final thing, once we wrap up, the enterprise of the future, okay. Looking ahead 5 to 10 years, what will define a truly future-ready enterprise? Autonomous operations, AI co-pilots, hyper-automations, and something beyond today's ERP vision, if you have some thought around it. So we know AI is going to be part of it. So autonomous operations is happening. It's already doing there. New innovations are happening every day. AI co-pilots, they are happening. Hyper automation is something where maybe no human is involved or very less yes or no kind of a segment. Anything beyond this that you feel with the ERP segments? And I would like this in a singular lines. I'm really on
Okay,
lines.
cool.
Yes.
So I guess in a single line, I would say predictive and preventive.
Yeah, that's a predictive and preventive works. Sir, from your side of it.
Yeah, mobile app-based automation without having any in-premise or even what we are talking about. So app-based, which is going to govern because everyone is carrying the mobile sets.
Mm-hmm. Last mile can actually be, not even last mile actually. I don't know what term, we can actually coin up a term for that. It's not edge, it is not last mile, it is localized or AI on hands or something like that. Maybe. Good one, sir. Like that. Yogesh, sir.
Yeah, so people would move from batch reporting to continuous reporting. That would happen. The conventional reporting mechanism would change. You know, so you would probably just have a chat or maybe a simple prompt, and you should get a dashboard. So that's what I would see happening.
Also something like talking to Jarvis and say, hey Jarvis, tell me how much sale I made. And Jarvis says, sir, you made 10 rupees or 1,000 rupees something, and you could have done maybe 1,000 more. Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it won't stop on that number. It would basically give you an additional intelligence. What did you do wrong? How can you do better? Whom can you sell more? Something like that.
Assistant models
Yes.
kind of things.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're on good.
Yeah, it's more of actionable intelligence plus abstractiveness. So it's too much of information around there. So for a CIO or a CEO or somebody who's a decision maker, it has to be at a very abstractive level. So you can't go around all the pie charts and everything, derive information. Summarized, abstractive, and including the transactions has to be so abstractive in nature so that people can easily use it. That's
Interesting. So the session could go on long and long, but yes, we will have to sum up for some of the other activities that is going to happen. But thank you for being such a amazing panelist that we are seeing here. The discussions, you won't believe, we talked here, and even before that, I had to actually make them ki chalo abhi stage pe jana hai. You know, those kind of things happen. So thank you for being one of the good panelists that we have. Thank you for being a good audience. But I would really want you to participate, because if you're listening to a conversation, see, I was giving you visibility around it. You could have taken that. Okay, so whenever the new session happens, rise up, mention your name, mention your business, whatever you're running. You might have something. Your dream referral can actually come from here. Thank you so much. We'll conclude the session here. Signing off, Pawan More.
Okay, thank you. Give a big hand to all the panelists and moderator. And again, I will request Mr. Pawan More, who is a moderator for this panel discussion, to felicitate all the panelists. First of all, Mr. Sabrisan Sankaran. Mr. Sabrisan Sankaran is a tech entrepreneur and enterprise architect with 20 plus years of experience driving digital transformation across telecom and manufacturing sectors. As co-founder of the Technicius Technology Services, he focuses on helping SMEs adopt AI and IoT-led solutions to optimize production. Now our next panelist is Mr. Ganesh Chaudhary. Ganesh Chaudhary is a founder and promoter of VQBITS. Over the years, he have worked extensively on designing and managing scalable systems, optimizing data platforms, and enabling organizations to align technology with business goals. Our next panelist is Mr. Yogesh Wagh. Yogesh Wagh is a founder and CEO of One Green Diary Software Private Limited. He started this on 2015, and since then has been leading the organization in building software products and delivering ERP and digital transformation solutions for MSMEs and mid-sized enterprises. Mr. Milind Bakshi. Milind Bakshi is the Associate Vice President for Sales and Marketing at Trust Fintech Limited. Is a seasoned business leader driving digital transformation through ERP and AI-led solutions. Thanks to all the panelists. And now I will request on behalf of Exponomics Events Private Limited, Mr. Munde, Dr. Munde, to felicitate our Mr. Pavan More. Mr. Pavan More is the founder of Pioneum Consultants Private Limited, driving ERP LED digital transformation for business, served as a CTO at SWS Web Solutions and Candifi Healthcare, brings extensive hands-on experience in technology, leadership and ERP implementations.
I also get something. One group photo, please.
Okay. One group photo, please. Dr. Munde, be in middle.
Okay.
Special thanks to Mr. Pavan More. He is a moderator for all the panel discussions yesterday and today also. So thanks a lot on behalf of Exponomics Events Private Limited, Mr. Pavan More. We thankful to you. So this is a success story of our India's first ERP Expo 2026. Almost more than 40 expertise were here to deliver their experience to new entrepreneurs as well as startups and all the enterprises to how to apply ERP as well as AI, cloud. So thanks a lot all the panelists and thanks to audience. We'll meet again. Thank you and good night. One little announcement to all of you. जवळपास 100हून अधिक स्टॉल्स आहेत आणि या स्टॉल्ससाठी ऑर्गनायझर्सकडून म्हणजे एक्सपोनॉमिक्सकडून एक विशेष बक्षीस दिलं जाणार आहे. हे हॉल ए मधले काही गिनेचुने स्टॉलधारक आणि हॉल बी मधले काही गिनेचुने स्टॉलधारक एक छोटीशी स्पर्धा ऑर्गनायझर्सकडून घेतली गेली आणि त्या स्पर्धेचा निकाल आता लगेचच दोन्ही हॉलच्या प्रवेशद्वारी होईल. आपल्याला विनंती आहे आपण त्या प्राइज डिस्ट्रीब्युशनसाठी तिथे उपस्थित व्हावं ॲट द एंट्रन्स ऑफ हॉल ए अँड हॉल बी. थँक्यू.